Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of AI Amigos Show. My name is Marina, and I'm very happy to be in this episode with my good friend, Jan Chao. Hi, Jan. How are you?
Good, good. Finally, James is not here. We're taking bigger screen now.
That's correct. That's correct. We are -1 today. So then you don't feel intimidated by the Latin power
No,
in the call.
I speak Chinese now, freely.
So it's great that we are having this episode. But before we get started, we would like to remember you that we are sponsored by Tequila AI from now on. And then we want to thank our friends of Tequila AI. And we would like to remind our audience that if you need any AI services, synthetic data, secure scanning, you can contact our friends on tequilaai.com.
Yeah,
Having said that, let's go to see what is going on in the AI world.
yeah, definitely. We have this new section now because we feel we would like to bring our audience every week what happened recently as news updates. So keep you up to date.
Exactly. And it would be very nice for us to know what you are interested on, so then we can keep posting topics that you would like to see and you would like to interact with us. So, within the news, before getting started with the topic of the day, we can talk maybe first about Meta.
Yeah,
We know that Meta is redesigning the AI department, and then they pause basically the hiring process for AI professionals. Um, I would say it's not something that we would mention that we wouldn't think of. But the reality, guys, is that AI is evolving really fast. And in that sense, or in that line, we mentioned a couple of episodes ago that there are some things that we have to consider in terms of, how to improve the language models, for example, or
mhm,
generative AI. So then probably they are going around this.
yeah. And I think this is a big thing as well because I know Meta, like hires some and kind of Chinese AI expert. They're all paying millions, like it's just like crazy amount of salary to get them. Maybe there's just one person is enough for a whole department. Maybe.
Speaking about the Chinese power, as we started the conversation today.
Yeah, yeah, and the yeah, and then the second one is very interesting as well, right? I think if you follow last week, the MIT released a report. Basically, 95% of enterprise adopted AI in their early stage. Only 5% have succeeded. 95% of them never see their um, fundings or return, and this is I was trying to get this report. It was in their MIT portal. There's a project they're running. You have to sign in, but seems like this news is everywhere. And then the next day, yeah, this is Nanda project. You have to sign in and tell them why you wanted to review it to get the report. It's a bit
Are you
hard
a
to get.
person of interest or not?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get now, but yeah, but interesting reaction is the following day the market, all the AI stocks are crashing, basically pretty badly. Yeah, if you're following if you're following market, well, James is probably a good person to talk
Yes,
about.
actually we talked last week
Yeah.
about the automation that we have in trading. So then, if you haven't watched the episode, we encourage you to do so. If
Mhm.
you're interested in what is happening in the trading and stock market. But yes, you are right, John. I feel at some point, there are many things where companies they really want to implement or introduce AI,
Mhm.
and maybe they don't really find the right solution for them, and this is why they are not really succeeding in what they want to do.
Yeah.
It's a
Um,
bit it's a pity, really, because we always say that the AI could actually improve a lot the workflow, the
yeah.
efficiency, but also you need to have a good strategy for that. And I would like to remind you that if you have a company, middle size or small size, and you want to implement it, you can contact our friends of Tequila AI, and maybe they can guide you with a tailored solution.
Hmm. And then the next is similar, right? I think OpenAI Sam was talking about GPT-5 was bust, and yeah, there are so various different posts on LinkedIn as well, right? I saw there's a one that is really funny. It's like the picture, first picture was GPT-3 was the elephant, GPT-4 was some other animal, and GPT-5 was actually just all the animal parts put it together, right? So this is the great heat of the topic last week as well. If you have experience with GPT-5, let us know. I haven't using GPT for a while now, so I don't really comment on that.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I have used it. I use GPT-5, but the thing is, I believe that what is going on, it's a bit connected to the limitations that we have in generative AI.
Mm,
I remember that we mentioned a little bit about the window gap, and this one could be a kind of property of the transformers for now. And I believe that this is also connected on why Meta wants to get a restructuration of the AI department, probably to see if they can actually fight against this limitation, and being the first one is in the
yeah.
market.
Yeah. And I'm just copying those URLs into our chat if anyone like to see them. And yeah. So, and the next thing we are going through is the great topic of today.
Oof. I would say this is the topic of the day.
Great.
Now, well, a couple of days ago, it was 3 or 4 days ago, the breaking news that in China, the Dr. San Kifen, probably my pronunciation is wrong. Maybe Shan Chao, you can help me here
Yeah,
with the
and
pronunciation
Qi
of the name.
Zhang Qi Feng, yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah. So then, this he is a Chinese business person, and then founder of Kaiwa Technology,
Yeah.
and he created the concept. He came out with the concept of, okay, let's create the womb where we can grow a baby mimicking the humans.
Hmm.
This is actually something that is causing like so many explosions at the moment, in terms of many pros and cons around this. I've been reading a bit about this, and I watch, a couple of well, YouTube videos and news, talking about this. Reputable sources, right? Like DB, for example, The Guardian. And what they mention is, on the one hand, how would it work, right? So then this was kind of the first question that arises. And the
Hmm.
explanation that they have with the concept is, there will be like the womb that is a kind of incubator, like, when the babies are born and then they need an incubator. Okay, so then it would be something similar. They will place the embryo there to start growing, and the embryo will be fed by a tube. For me, it's super hard to imagine that, though, right? Like with the because you need the cord and everything, you're like connected to the mom. But yes, so then, and this raises like so many questions, like, okay, but then would the baby have the same attachment with the mother afterwards or not? And to be honest, I wouldn't say that it wouldn't, right? Because in that sense, we could actually compare it with babies that are adopted. So if the baby is adopted, then it doesn't mean that the baby couldn't connect to the mother who adopt them, right? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, it's raised a
Hard.
lot of ethical questions, to be honest. And I mean, it's good to see those kind of technology there. Maybe for people who couldn't carry babies, that would be their help.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think they're coming out from a good place. Just hopefully those are used in the right way. Um, yeah, similar to I remember the year before or 2 years ago, there's gene editing, right? There's a couple baby come out from China was their DNA was edited to remove some serious disease they carry. This thing there, but that's already wrong. There's not proven. So yeah, hopefully this is being using in the right direction. That's what I
Well,
was scared of.
to be honest, and Chao, I'm very impressed about this. And I tell you, people who go through fertility process, they pay really a lot of money to actually,
Mhm.
get it done, because just the egg retrieval on its own, it's around like 5,000 euros. So plus
Yeah,
the fertilization and everything. So imagine like people would spend like around 10,000 euro to do so. And this humanoid robot, for the service for the womb and everything, it would cost 12,000 euro. So
okay.
then, if you consider that in the comparison to the traditional methods, that of course are very invasive for the woman, right? Like in all the stages and everything, plus,
Yeah,
implant the embryo, and then the woman also has this uncertainty whether it would work or not. There are like many things involved in there. So I believe for couples that they cannot really have babies, this one could be like a great solution, because it's a way. I don't know what is the probabilities of succeeding, right? So I
yeah.
think nobody knows yet. um
Well, technically, probably they can do it for sure if they set a target. But what I'm thinking of is you don't get the memory of that. Like I'm not sure about the audience there. Like when I have my kids, most of memory is my wife carried the kids, and then what she cravings, what we've been through, and that's the good part of building the relationship and the baby self. And if you're taking that away, and it feels strange unless this robot is living with you all the time. But it's just kind of weird, isn't it? You taking care of a third person or something like that. Or it just feels like you go into a shop, buy something, and boom, they're landed. Right?
well, I
Yeah.
don't know. Anyway, so I think that we have some people watching us, so feel free to jump to the conversation in case that
Hmm.
you were parents, for example. We would like to know your opinions, on how you live that. I don't have kids, but I assume that having the baby or seeing this growing, as you said, it must be like very emotional, right? Like very
Yeah.
nice moment and memory.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, Jan, the good side of this is that maybe the person can actually, or the couple can actually know that the baby that is growing is their baby. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
this could be kind of the upside. But also, I have another question that raises now in my head. Do you think that many couples would be willing to try it? I don't know.
Is it?
I don't know if we are ready for that yet.
Yeah. I just feel like this is Matrix now. This is pure Matrix now. Um, and then raise another question as well. Like it says it's a robot. That's a, a bit different than what we're seeing in the Matrix. Like, do you? How good is this robot? How good the vision robot is, right? Is it gonna work around in the house with you, or what does it do? And then we're seeing, like, that's the other topic as well. We're seeing those humanoid robots and doing Olympics games, right? We're seeing a funny footage
Yes.
of it. But, like, is that safe, really? Carry the baby around? Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of questions.
Yes, 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 and especially because we have seen as well. I mean, something that we always talk about between you, James, and I when we have our discussions is maybe we work on different areas. We have different specialities, let's say, or areas of expertise within AI.
Hmm.
But the algorithms are the bases are the same. The only thing is like the
Yeah.
application is different, it changes. And we have seen generative AI kind of with bad behaviors, let's say, against the humans sometimes.
Hmm.
So what would happen, for example, if the robot is carrying the baby and all of a sudden gets angry for whatever reason? It could be hard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. But what like the vision part is a different department of AI and machine learning, right? The best of them at the moment probably is Tesla's FSD, and they're rolling out the robot taxi and all that sort of stuff very very soon. Even they're trying to get permitting. Is that in India or something, and then Norway is totally opened it up for them to sign a contract with the government. So they're probably the best in this field, in vision wise, machine learning AI. But they still have issues: the car crashes, the bad behaviors, and all that. If you have this robot, a lot of even like the cars have to have a safety operator sits in there. It doesn't do much, but just to correct it when it's wrong,
Hmm.
right? But do you have to hire another person to stand beside this? I mean, like, uh, from a two people family, straight away you become four people family now.
Yes, yes, exactly. So then it's kind of strange, and it's at the end of the day, what we have to think of is, yes, it's amazing that the AI is moving,
Yeah,
but what are the limits? you
yeah,
know
yeah.
um I think this is something that we have to consider as well.
Hmm.
And I also would like to keep encouraging our audience, if you would like to jump into the conversation, just leave a comment and we will be happy to answer you, or
Yeah.
or to try to go towards your queries as well. But yes, so I don't know if I would agree on this, that maybe the baby wouldn't bond with the mother or with the father because the baby didn't grow, like in the belly. This I would argue about this, because I
Hmm.
don't really think that it would be kind of true, as I made the comparison before. But yes, it could make a big difference for the parents, especially for the story that you tell me.
It could work more.
Yes, well, it would be but anyway, so then the main point here as well, and something that also gets my attention, is the difference of the evolvement of AI in
Yeah,
China in
yeah.
comparison to Europe, because I'm sure that they could actually reach this far because they have less regulations and more freedom to actually keep trying.
I think that should we should show the next thing about the Olympics. I think that's a very good example of what's happening in China about vision
Mhm.
robots. I know like a lot of there are a few quarries are running completely off AI. There's no human in there. I was taking stones,
It's
excavators
incredible
by
as well.
AI. Yeah, and trucks are driving by AI. It is less and it's bigger market as well. Um, we're seeing a lot of those. I've seen one with 400-meter running. It was pretty cool. It was a one robot running really, really quickly. And but uh, that's how they select the best company, kind of. They did it in a fun way, and I show everyone. So if you win a champion or win a medal there, probably you're gonna get calls to do, to do the robot. That's the best advertising out there, right? And there's 16 countries, but I see a lot of Chinese company with robots in there. I have
Yes,
a list.
yes. I actually, this is something that I mentioned as well, as before. I think they have more freedom to actually come up with this
Mm,
kind of progress. Even here in Germany, there are a couple of companies that they are working with robots. They are trying to get a humanoid robots, and they are not going this fast. There is no way. On the one hand, I feel it's because of the regulations. On the other hand, maybe of the skilled workers, because we are kind of behind on that, a little bit, I believe. Especially because we cannot really put the hands on all the time.
yeah. And then the material wise, right? Where did I did a bit study before, just research, sorry, on this. How did the Chinese robot become like this at the moment? Is we've seen this a lot before with Boston
Hmm.
Robotics, right? That's probably the first one. And there's a kind of pitch on the road. There's a junction on the road, and not long ago, about probably about 10 years ago, it's about Boston Robotics is using hydraulic, and they're great capability of carry heavy things. That's why they have contract before with U.S. military. I'm not sure they continue with them or not, but
Hmm.
that was the initial. But they carry a lot of problem with bursting pipes and all that. It's not easy to fix on that. So a lot of those Chinese robots are using electric kind of motors. That's the pitch on the road, kind of. you going through the hydraulic route or you going through the electric motor route. The electric motor has the opposite. It's easier to fix, easy to find parts, but it can't carry that heavy load. That was the difference. So I think China, because all those drones and all that, they have the full production line. So a lot of company are doing that now. With the technology of AI, machine learning, people are invested more. So the vision component added onto the robots more and more quicker. So we're seeing that kind of robotic coming out now from China. It's like waves of robots and like that. So that's the full kind of history behind it.
And do you think, Shan, this is something that maybe I cannot really answer, but do you think that there would be a big business of export robots to the world? For example, with this one thing that we just saw, about carrying babies.
Yeah,
I see this, as a potential market eventually for couples that cannot have babies. But what about, for example, like these robots that, as we said, is a huge market. They're getting a lot of money, and then they can do Olympic games. So do you think that it would actually extend to the world? I don't
well,
really have an answer.
they will try, and then probably will pay a big amount of money for it, just with different tariff, right? Look at the BYD, the cars. Like when I was in China, BYD was cheap, was really, really cheap. And Chinese company, kind of in China, they like to compete with each other. So electric cars are extremely cheap in China. It's ridiculous. 70,000, um, yeah, sorry, 7,000 euro probably you can get a car. 14,000 you can get BYD, the models we have here, but we pay 30 grand or more. So that's the thing. And then
And I
not
thought that Germany was cheap for the cars. 7,000 is actually a super good price. I wish, we could have it here.
7,000, and then the better model is about 100 grand our money, but divide by 8, you're talking about less than 20 grand. The options are a lot of options to go through select cars. And I think this is gonna be like the robot as well. They probably wanted to explore export it outside, but depends on how European, US, all those government they probably put on heavy tariff on that as well. So we don't.
Well, probably that would be like for sure, because imagine like all the concerns that we have now, related to the ethical part of this, and the psychological part of this.
Yeah,
Okay, imagine as well like for athletes, right, that they are competing in the Olympic Games, and they see that this is the reality. Oh no, why I am preparing myself if there are robots that they can do this for me, all
yeah,
the same as I'm doing.
yeah.
Um,
I will. Yeah, our audience, you can go have a look at the YouTube. There's just so many fun video about those Olympics. The best one, there's a two cool ones. Like you have to see the football one. It's just the kind of robots crash on robots there. That was fun. And
the real Matrix.
yeah, they're really doing some game. They have 400-meter run and 1,500-meter run and obstacle run. I think there's a long jump as well, and there's boxing, which you see, and there's a football. So I seen one. The other fun video was the robot was hit and run. So the robot was running, and some camera guy or someone was walking in the lane, but the robot hit it and stand up and keep running. So that was, and I win the medal as well as like the first robot hit and run. So that was quite funny.
Well, it's actually like a funny story, like for me it's hard to imagine. And on top of that,
Yeah,
um I don't know how will you actually fight with a robot. It's like it's not possible, even
yeah,
though, so then I don't really think that there is much that we can do.
yeah. They, they have to implement those three rules, right? You have to robot, you have to obey human or something, right? We see in the movies all the time. Yeah,
100%, 100%. Well, Jan, I think it was an amazing episode. I really want to see what is happening and how all this situation is evolving. I think we will need to wait until 2026 to see, how many countries are adopting the robot, at least like for the conception, for the giving birth. Because for what I read in the news, it is planned to start, working with this from 2026. I would like to invite our audience to follow us on Instagram, AI Amigos Show. You can follow us on LinkedIn as well. And of course, subscribe to our channel. We have seen that 60% of our audience is not subscribed. So then give it a subscribe, give it a like. It doesn't cost any cent. And for us, it helps us so much.
Yeah, and help us to get rich.
Maybe we
Yeah,
have to create another humanoid, so
yeah.
then put our brain
To
to work.
replace James. Yeah, and
To replace James in the AI
yeah.
Amigos show.
Say James is on holiday, so we could have an AI taking James'
Exactly.
place.
Maybe even with his features,
Yeah, yeah.
Jan, it was amazing this episode. I really enjoyed it a lot. And thank you everyone for being here. And we are looking forward to meeting you next week. Have a great day.
Bye now.